Welcome to Reiman Surface Tennis with the Alphas. Here we will walk you through basic strategies to advanced techniques to help you get your game from the amateur to the pro level. On this week's telecast, I'm joined by former pro player Thomas Tomastical. He will give us first-hand knowledge based on his experience by playing within the pros. Welcome to the program, Mr. Tomastical.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Why don't you start us off by explaining some of the basic rules and objectives in Reiman Surface Tennis?
Excellent idea. So, let's start with how to win. Now, the main objective of Reiman Surface Tennis is to incapacitate the opponent while keeping the ball inside of the courts. And this seems like a difficult concept, so we brought some footage along that shows you some examples of pros doing an excellent job of incapacitating their opponents.
Let's take a look. So now we see that the objective is to incapacitate your opponent, and there are many ways in doing this. Now tell us, what is the purpose of all the lines within the court?
Oh, I'm glad you asked, because as it so happens, we brought some footage of a young player who did not ask the same question. Now, much to his disadvantage, he found that the lines on the courts are highly electric and can cause instant paralysis. Let's take a look.
Good to know. I'll make sure to stay off those lines, Mr. Tomastical. Excuse me. Now I'm wondering, is there any scoring in this game? Or is the objective simply to go with the kill shot every shot?
Of course there's scoring in the game. It'd be quite a pointless game if there's no scoring.
Of course.
Now, the way the scoring works is that if your score is ever a multiple of your opponent's score, then you'll lose depth perception for 5 seconds caused by the chips inside of your head. So, as we can see here, it can be quite disadvantageous to your game.
Well, the player sure was affected by his loss of depth perception. Now, I've noticed that while playing the game, the players involved can be quite vocal with their shots. Tell me, is there any particular reason to this vocality?
Yes, actually there is. Now, the reiman balls that the players use in these competitions, they're finely tuned to the sound of human agony.
Interesting.
And the more agony that the sensors pick up on,
So, tell me, you work very closely with very sensitive balls, do you not, Mr. Tomastical, excuse me.
Yes, very sensitive indeed, thank you.
Interesting.
So, as I was saying, the players, they intentionally mimic the sound of agony to help affect the performance of the balls, the spin, the speed, etc., to increase their game.
Do you have any examples of this?
Actually, we do, of course. We have some very powerful vocals right here.
Let's take a look at some of these very sensitive balls. Thank you again for joining us on this week's telecast, Mr. Tomastical.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here, and I really hope that our viewers have understood a little bit more about Reiman Surface Tennis and are ready to take their game to the next level.
Tune in again next week.